So, I need someone to help me to take a look at the big picture. The big picture used to fit in this backpack. It's full. There's a computer back there. Now, with everything that's gone on, I have this. And I have this. Let's grab some stuff out. Arapahoe County Sheriff's Department statements. Court stuff from Clearview. Here's a letter from Jason Jepson, 1051st Street. To whom it may concern, I am writing this letter on behalf of Sean Schwartz. I have known Sean for over 20 years and can vouch for his moral character. I have always known Sean to be good-hearted, polite, honest, and harmless. Sean is generous and empathetic towards others and would do anything for a friend in need. Feel free to contact me with any questions you may have. My contact information is listed below. My name is Tara Hicks. I am having ankle surgery on the 16th of July. My brother Sean is helping me out till surgery, and then 2 months after surgery. He is the only one close by that can help me out. If you need to talk to me about this more, please give me a call. I really don't have anyone else that can help me out doing stuff I can't do right now. I am limited on what I can do. That's my little sister. She lives in Nebraska. I can't see her without being punished. There's stuff from the protection orders that I wasn't allowed to go to the court date. Adams County Court. I'm overwhelmed by all of this. I have panic attacks from being overwhelmed, and they just keep putting more stuff on here, you know? More stuff. More stuff. Applying for a public defender. County Court in Larimer. County Court in Larimer. Paxton Hospital. This is for authorization to use or disclose protected health information. I didn't have the money to get that done. Didn't even have an address to send it to. The picture of Natalie. I was going to send that to Danica. Various notes left behind. That's when I tried to kill myself. For Maddie Boa. I love you. I forgive you. If there is an afterlife, I will try to keep you safe from there. But I didn't die. And it's so messed up because Maddie Boa could have told the truth and stopped all of this. But she was mad at me. She didn't care about how much it would hurt me. There's 2 other letters that were in there they're missing. Directions on how to get to the public pretender's office. List of a whole shit ton of legal service places I called. I called all of them. Outpatient services fact sheet, case and orientation. Johnstown. Review behavioral health clinicians. more information. This was actually full, but when I got my backpack back, a lot of the stuff was missing. United Health, this was the packet that I was waiting for. Meant B. I got it almost 2 weeks too late for my appointment. I had to reschedule, but I didn't have time with all the court date stuff going from one to the next. List of professional help that didn't help. Here's some phone numbers. It would have been able to help a long time ago. A lot of these numbers changed. A lot of these people are mad at me because I had panic attacks. Some stuff from Larimer County. Paperwork. I don't even have a place to sort through all of it. Bunch of inmate request forms that on the abuse at the Arapahoe County Jail. More. Here's I got a bunch of these that wouldn't take. This one's from Noah Benson. Sean Schwartz during the night spoken with Deputy McKinnon several times. At one point, Mr. Schwartz was accused of banging on things, to which Mr. Schwartz denied that he was. I was in the cell during this time, and besides pacing, the only thing Mr. Schwartz was touching was the intercom button. I believe Deputy McKinnon mistook the pressing of the button as banging on things. At one point, Mr. Schwartz had kicked the door, but after speaking with the deputy, did not bang on anything else. McKinnon's name was provided by Mr. Schwartz. The deputy kept accusing me of continuing to bang on it. Zeki Abanada. He was going to call Shannon, but Shannon was paranoid and she didn't talk to him, and so he never got back to her and never got back to me. Says, today is Sunday, October 21st, and is also the first day I've received a clean pair of underwear since the original pair I received on the 18th of October. That was on my birthday. This is Zeki. It says, I've politely requested a fresh pair every night since my arrival, to be only given a reply of okay or I heard you by many different guards. No action was ever carried further than that. However, last night, 10/20/18, before lockup, I put in the same request for a fresh clean pair of underwear, in person with a guard that responded with the action of pulling out his notepad with seemingly intentions of recording my information to fulfill my request. I only assume this because he asked for my last name. When I gave the guard my last name, he proceeded to close his notepad, stating, "I'm not going to help no goat fucker," while walking away. After lockup, I paged inmate services to remind them of my request, only to be ignored. Another one from Zeki Abanada. Today is Sunday, October 21st, and today was the first day I've received a clean pair of he wrote multiple ones because they wouldn't take it. There's another one from Zeki. The duration of my time imprisoned in Arapahoe County, I've witnessed my cellmate Sean Schwartz refused a blanket by more than one guard. The rest of the inmates have 2 blankets, and Sean is in possession of none. I witnessed Sean being made fun of when requesting a blanket. Wah, I want a blankie, said the guard that remains anonymous. In result of being on the other side of the door, Sean's request has been denied over a dozen times. From only what I've seen, this is a clear violation of human rights. DeAngelis Marcus. Inmate Sean was shown no respect and had his rights violated as far as receiving the items he was trying to get. He was teased and mocked by the deputies and was never taken seriously. All of the many of times and occasions he asked for them from his blankets, which was given later, but only one, and to see medical. The entire situation, from my point of view, is disrespectful and unprofessional. They violated his rights as a civil human being, as always. This is from Zeki Abanada. Today my ulcers started to bleed and results of being ignored by the tower for at least 6 hours. I was denied medical attention, which only strengthened my fatigue. A deputy 6 hours later did come to my cell and provided me with his personal attention. If his colleagues followed his ways, it would not have been an issue, but it's a shame I was brought to such a point I could have been seriously injured. More. Patient handbook with a lot of information in it that doesn't go anywhere because nobody will look at it. District Court of Boulder. Newspaper article. And make grievance forms that were ignored. I was laughed at and teased by the inmates repeatedly. There's my ticket to Billings. Everybody wanted to shove meds at me. I didn't need meds. I needed a safe environment. I needed someone to take my report. More inmate grievances that were ignored. I was picked on, teased, and harassed by the guards the whole time I was there. Bunch of mail that was received too late. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't help because nobody would look at it. They cut me off from being able to have access to these things and from being able to have the ability to get these things, and then they punish me because I don't have these things. And then when I finally do have access to even just some of it, nobody takes a look anyway. Can't see my loved ones still. A lot of them are mad at me because I have panic attacks non-stop now. I have to do all this in Starbucks. I can't get a hold of anybody. I got more in the backpack, more in that bag there. There's more I need to requisition. I have to be able to go all through all of it. I just look at it and it shuts me down. And then I look at these things and I can break it down, all the parts that they lied in. I had two of these. A picture of Natalie. The other one had some pictures I drew, and it had a poem that I wrote. This is a piece of paper from Natalie's notepad. It doesn't have anything on it. It's a picture of Charlie. Jessica Martindale knows him. I thought he was dead. Turned out he had just moved to be homeless in Denver instead of Boulder, because the Boulder cops wouldn't leave him alone. There's another healthcare package that I got too late. It was only a week too late. And he couldn't answer her door. Another picture of Natalie I started while I was in Virginia. I had to draw it a few times. I was pretty rusty. Some stuff from the jail, trying to get a guard to show up. That other thing that I had, it was in this one. I had some pictures of Natalie that they took. I don't know where they took them or why they took them. Part of my story had a bunch of numbers for resources, but they weren't the right resources, and I was trying to go through them to find the right one. Social Security, the courts. They granted them a protection order, but wouldn't look at any of the stuff they were doing to me. They prevented me from going to court. People keep saying I'm sorry. Help get awareness out there that these things happen. More stuff with Larimer. Nobody would look at, nobody would care about. I got Access Nebraska application. If I do what you want, will you help me how I need? Because you're really just piling more shit on top of me. It's okay for these people to do things to me. It's not okay for me to do them back. It's okay for them to have emotions. It's not okay for me. It's okay for these people to pretend to be afraid. There's a picture the boy drew. I miss him so much. I'm a bad person for being autistic. I'm a bad person for having panic attacks. I'm a bad person for shutting down. More stuff that I wrote. More. It's all unorganized. Drugs don't fix this. I needed a safe place. Here's more. Voluntary statements for Dual County. On the 28th of April, 2018, I was being harassed by a violent criminal named Ted Bollinger who used his daughter's YouTube account to attempt to threaten, coerce me into going with him, talking to him. I called 911. I was in Nebraska for my grandmother's funeral when he started harassing me, asking for a phone number of his daughter, whose account he was on already had. Ted Bollinger has a history of violence as well as being a sexual predator, and I am a disabled person and was treated by Deputy Anderson in a dismissive way. Anderson did not look into the incident and did not write a report on the incident, according to Sheriff DaCosta and Desiree Messigatis. Deputy Anderson's attitude and actions on the 28th of April 2018 put me at further risk by this man, Ted Bollinger, as well as putting his daughter Alicia Bollinger at risk. Ted's other daughter, Natalie, who is Alicia's twin, was murdered in December. Thousands of people have taken part in harassing, misleading, slandering, assaulting, and coercing me, as well as destroying evidence in this case. The YouTube account associated with the incident was destroyed, but I kept screenshots of the harassment as well as proof that Ted Bollinger was destroying evidence of the harassment. Ted claimed he wanted to talk but was unwilling to do so when the deputy was involved. That was not in Deputy Anderson's report because he did not make one was not on his body cam. His refusal to take the situation seriously has led to serious psychological consequences for me and to put me in a state of fear of local law enforcement who failed to properly document the incident or even take it seriously. I still have evidence of the incident and feel that the evidence should be collected, although it is 2 months late in being collected. The incident happened at Nettie's Treasures on Main Street in Chapel, Nebraska. On the 26th of June, I went to Will County Courthouse at 718 3rd Street to ask for a copy of the report from an incident where a man known to be violent and a sexual predator who was harassing me on the internet. The incident occurred on the 28th of April. I am disabled and cannot defend myself against this man. The officer who responded did not file a written statement, according to Sheriff DaCosta. I think this is a photocopy of it. I don't know. My birth certificate. And this is not counting the screenshots that are in their thousands. Longer it takes for me to get a safe environment, the more this stuff builds up, and it's from multiple jurisdictions and counties. The officers in multiple counties took part in protecting the wrongdoing of officers in multiple counties. They won't even investigate themselves. They compartmentalize it. All of my money has gone to trying to get to a safe environment and going back and forth to all these court dates. None of the criminals were investigated, and they keep using jurisdiction as their excuse not to look at the big picture, just to frame me in individual parts and pieces, and say they didn't find any wrongdoing in their own behalf. I don't even have a safe place to go through it all. I have to make hundreds of phone calls to people who won't answer, and I have to try to document all of those phone calls by using my computer that I have to charge. I still have nobody to send this information to. No matter what, they refused to take my report. They kept on taking away all of this evidence and refusing to look at it by whatever means necessary. And my public pretenders helped them.